But you told me you finished. Alright, go for it.
Do you find yourself lying a lot?
Only every now and then. I lie when I tell like white lies.
Like when it's necessary?
Yeah, like I don't make big lies up. I don't like make up lies to be cool, like or anything like that.
To make yourself more interesting?
Yeah, I make up lies to like
Get out of trouble?
yeah, yeah,
Protect your friends.
yeah, some stuff like that.
How is your relationship with your parents or with your siblings?
My dad, I don't really know him that well. Like I know him, but like he used to live with us. He like moved out a couple years ago, so like I don't really talk to him. I talk to him like a couple times a year. So like not real good with my dad. My mom, I'm like real tight with my mom, like real super tight with my mom, like that. And I'm alright with my sister and my brother. I'm tighter with my brother now than my sister because me and my brother used to be like we used to hate each other kinda, and now we're like grown up, so like
a sibling rivalry?
like a sibling rivalry. And now when you're older, like there's not that anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay. Do you make friends easily and connect with people?
Yeah.
You don't have any friends.
Yeah, I do. No, I'd say yeah. I make friends pretty easy.
Like, do you find yourself connecting with people on an emotional?
I feel like I'm connecting with myself emotionally with you right now.
Aww. I think. I'm gonna
But
cut that out.
yeah, I would say yeah, probably.
Okay.
Christian. Is Christian go?
Do you remember being a child?
Vividly.
Really?
I remember a lot about being a kid.
Like what?
Like all the things I used to do.
What did you used to do? Can I have like more on
Yeah.
that?
Like what do you want to know? Like I used to ride bikes all the time. That's all I would do is ride bikes and like play with fire and
So like riding bikes, that's something you connect with childhood?
yeah, playing with friends, being outside the house.
Yeah. This question's gonna seem a little weird, but when did you lose your childlike innocence? And you can take this in any way that you think.
As soon as I got to high school.
Really?
As soon as I came to high school, I was immediately I lost my innocence forever.
Do you wish you could still have that innocence, or are you glad it's gone?
What are these questions?
I'll
answer for him.
Well, I would say that no, because losing that innocence has shown me many things that I believe that have made me more of an experienced individual.
It's made you the man you are.
It's made me who I am today, and I would not want to be anything less than who I am today.
So you wouldn't want to just stay a child forever?
I mean, stay a child is. Well, it's kind of like I matured. At the same time, I lost my innocence. I've kind of matured. That's kind of part of maturing, I guess, is losing your innocence in that way. I don't know.
Okay. Last question. Is the real world just too hard?
Hell no. Hell no, Smize. It's not. It's easy out here. It's hard to be a pimp.
Do you find yourself lying a lot?
No, I think I'm a pretty honest person.
Like not even little white lies?
Not very often, as long as I'm not hurting anybody with my lies, and it's not like a terrible thing, though.
Like you don't tell lies to get yourself out of trouble?
No, not really. I'm honest.
Are you close with your parents or with your siblings?
Am I close?
Yeah.
Not
like,
really.
do you get along with them?
No, not really.
None of them?
Only my mom,
Why just her?
because she's nice and doesn't give me crap.
Do you remember a lot of your childhood?
Only little bits and pieces of it.
Like what?
Like when I would go outside and play on the swing set and run around in my yard and draw pictures and stuff.
So you associate like that kind of freedom, like going outside, with childhood?
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
When do you think you lost your childhood innocence?
Probably in high school,
Why?
because that's kind of your transition into the adult world. and you need to take on a lot of responsibilities, and you can't really be as carefree as you used to be because all of your actions have consequences, and you start to realize that.
So they don't have consequences when you're a child?
Not serious consequences that'll affect your own life. After high school, everything you do is on you, and it's not something that's dished out by your parents as a punishment.
Do you wish you could stay a child forever and not have those responsibilities?
Kind of. Because you can do more stuff now. You're privileged to do more of whatever you want. But then all the freedom is really gone to actually be able to do whatever you want and not have to worry about paying the bills and stuff like that.
Is the real world just too hard?
No. Everybody can deal with the real world.
But how come some people can't? Like, how come some people are sad because they live in the real world?
Because they can't learn to deal with it on their own. And they don't know how they're supposed to.
All right. First question. Do you find yourself lying a lot
As a teenager?
as a teenager?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
For what? Like what situations?
Mostly about schoolwork.
Mhm.
If I've done something, that kind of thing, studying.
All right. What about your relationship with your parents or your siblings? How is that going in this point?
It's going pretty good, actually. The more I grow up, the more I realize that I need a relationship with everyone. So, yeah.
That's
good.
good. All right. Do you remember being a child? Like, how do you remember yourself back then?
I
Like,
guess.
fondly, or like you
Yeah.
didn't like being a kid?
No, I remember. I mean, I definitely liked it and not having a care in the world, but I definitely remember I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till I get to high school and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So,
All right. You can take this question however you choose to interpret it. When do you think you lost your childlike innocence? That not having a care in the world.
the beginning of junior high,
Mhm.
probably.
Because of what reasons do you think you lost it?
Definitely because I was subjected to the knowledge of drugs and alcohol, and just finding out that people did these things.
It's like hit you like a brick wall.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Do you wish you could have stayed a child like forever? Do you wish you never had grown up, or do you think you have values to growing up?
No, I definitely enjoy the process because I learn things
Mhm.
all the time, and it's definitely nice to grow up. So,
All right. Still working? Yes, it is. Just checking.
okay.
All right. Last question.
Okay.
Is the real world just too hard?
Yes.
Like, is the world set against you being at your age, a teenager?
I think it depends where you are. Like, if you're at school,
Mhm.
no, because everyone's working with you and trying to help you.
Mhm.
I think outside of the school environment, like trying to find a job is definitely hard. So, yes, in some ways, but no in some.
Do you find yourself lying a lot?
I wouldn't say a lot, but I do lie to an extent.
Like, for what reasons?
I'd say when I don't. Well, this is gonna sound like Can I use foul language? Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want to be like a smart aleck, but when
You can say ass.
when I don't want someone to know something,
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's really
So you don't lie to, make yourself look cool?
no.
Are you close to your parents or your siblings?
My parents, yeah, and then one of my siblings, but the other one I'm not, because she's younger. She's younger. Younger! Sorry.
Do you remember being a child?
Yeah, I'd say so. It was more fun than being, well, I don't want to say more fun than being a teenager. It was a different kind of fun.
Okay. That's the next question I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Do you wish you were still a child?
No, I like the age I am now.
Yeah.
I guess you can still, I mean, I could still be considered a child because I'm not 18 or anything, but I like being a teenager. I think it's fun.
You don't want to be an adult.
When I'm an adult, I think I'll be ready to be an adult.
So you can take this question in any way you want to. It's a little out there.
Right.
But when do you think you lost your childlike innocence?
I don't know. I guess I never really felt like I was completely innocent. If like, I don't know if there was ever a childhood innocence like I was ever, I always feel like I was aware of like,
Like you took on the world, like you matured early.
well, mature. I don't know if I'm mature. I guess you could call me mature. Like, that's a deep question. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like a single moment that you like can really lose your innocence or like
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have a definite answer for
Is the real world, like when you're an adult and you go to work every day and then you come home every day, is that just too hard?
that. I don't think so. I think if you can kind of like set your own pace and like only take as much as you can handle, you should be fine.
Mhm.
Just don't like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that, and try to balance 100 things because no, you're only human.
Yeah. So are you afraid of responsibilities that you might have, like just because it's gonna be too much?
No, as long as I can take them on one by one and just get used to the idea of responsibility, not like all at once I'm suddenly responsible for everything.
Do you find yourself lying a lot?
No, I'm pretty honest
What else
with
do you have
people.
to do when you're an adult?
Straightforward.
Not even to get out of trouble?
No, I usually feel guilty and then I just tell them.
Nobody thinks
The only time I lie is like when I try to make people feel better about themselves.
Oh, okay. What is your relationship with your parents?
We're pretty tight. I don't lie to them, so.
That's good. I'm glad. What about siblings?
Taylor and I used to hate each other, but now she actually likes me, so we're good.
Do you make friends easily and connect with people?
Yes, I make a lot of friends. False.
So,
I do. I make friends.
She lies. She's
That's
lying
not
right
true.
now.
People like me.
but do you emotionally connect with people? Like you have empathy for other
Yeah,
people's
I feel
problems?
bad a lot for other people. Like, is that what you mean? I feel bad for them easily when they're like sad. It's feel sad for you.
Do you remember being a child?
Yes, I remember.
How was it?
It was fun.
That's
All
good.
that Peter Pan stuff.
Do you have Do you have things like that you connect with childhood, like a certain thing you would do all the time that you don't do now?
We used to go outside and like play like make believe stuff. I used to be like a princess. You could sword fight, so that's pretty awesome. With sticks.
Yeah.
Best in the neighborhood that we do.
This is gonna sound like a kind of a strange question, and you can take it in any way you want to.
Okay.
But do you remember when you lost your childlike innocence, and when did that happen?
I lost my childhood innocence when we were on the way to the beach, and I had just gotten a guinea pig, and it was my birthday, and I got the guinea pig the night before, and so the guinea pig was sitting next to me in a cage, and I was like looking at it because I was like 8, and like, I don't know, playing with it, and all of a sudden it died and just like kicked over, and I watched it die. It was very traumatizing. I thought it was asleep, but it was dead. That's when I lost my childhood innocence. The world was going to be a bad place.
Do you wish you could stay a child forever and not have responsibilities of being an adult?
No, I want to grow up. I don't like being a kid or a teenager. It's not fun.
Do you think like the real adult world, like how everybody talks about it, is really hard? Like, do you think it's too hard?
I think that it depends on like who you are, but at least for me, I think it's not going to be like awful. I mean, I hope it's going to be better than this. So I think it's going to be that hard.
The biggest thing I was surprised to hear was that a lot of people didn't want to be children again, and they really did appreciate that freedom that you have when you're older. Although it does come with responsibilities, a lot of people understood that that's what you get ready for as you mature and as you age.
One of the things I was very surprised to hear was a lot of people just deal with the world, unlike Holden, who is always trying to escape from reality. They understand that growing up is a part of life, and they don't mind losing their innocence. A lot of them, it doesn't seem relevant whether they get along with their families or not. And